How's it going? Fox again for sound design tutorials. Today I'm going to be going over how to make an analog sounding deep house bass. I've already made a deep house bass tutorial with Native Instruments Massive, and it's been one of the most popular ones that I've done. So I thought I'd have another crack and try and do something a little bit different. As I say, it's quite a slow paced patch, there's not much to it again. The analog sounding part of it comes from the square wave and the sine waves, as I say, real basic oscillators. But it's a lot deeper than the last one I did. It's more of a subby bass. So yeah, I'll show you this sound quickly on its own. There you go, as I say, a real deep, nice, siny bass. It's got a delay on it again, the same as the last deep house bass that I did, but the damping this time is toned right down. I'll play it quickly and I'll push the damping up just so you can see what effect it has. This damping on the delay in effect just helps you hone in on the lower parts of the bass. It almost just bounces the sub back around. Gives it a real nice feel for a deep house bass. So yeah, without further ado, I'll show you how I made it. So we'll go ahead and make a new instance of Massive. So we're going to use two oscillators for this, oscillator 1 and 2. We don't use oscillator 3. Oscillator 1, I kept it how it was on a square saw wave. Pull it all the way to the left so it's a square. Hold shift, pull this down 1 octave, minus 12 semitones, keep the intensity where it is and the amp all the way around to where it is. Oscillator 2 is a sine square, pull this one all the way around to the left so it's just a sine, pull this one down 1 octave as well, 12 semitones, just push this up slightly so it's 11.96. Keep the intensity all the way around, amp all the way where it is. Keep both of them, the balance between filter 1 and 2 dead center. We are going to use 2 filters for this. So this is what we've got so far. So nothing too exciting at the minute. I do use a little bit of modulation oscillator. I turned it on. I used it for phase for oscillator 1. Kept the pitch on 0 and pulled the phase quite high on this. I don't normally give it a lot of phase on this, but because say it's on oscillator 1, which is a square wave, it enabled me to have a fair bit, so I pushed it around to about 9 o'clock. We're going to modulate this with envelope 2 a little bit later on. So yeah, a little bit of phase. Okay, filter 1. We used a low pass 2. Push the cutoff all the way around to about 1 o'clock. Keep the resonance all the way down to 0. Filter 2 we use as well. As I say, this is a daft filter. Push the cutoff of this one around to about 3 o'clock. Same again, resonance all the way back. Push the volume of filter 2 not all the way to the top, just to about 3/4 of the way. Change this mix to dead center so we've got an equal amount of both filters. Push it all the way top so it's serial. That means the oscillators are going to run into filter 2 and then through into filter 1, sorry, then through filter 2 and then out through the output. So yeah, 2 filters on. Okay, one thing we need to do is in the oscillator section. Click on the oscillator section, just check this button, restart via gate. This resets any phasing or anything you've got every time a new key is pressed. I'm going to set envelope 2 up now, so because we use this for quite a lot. So envelope 2, I'll push the attack off quite a way to about in between 10 and 11 o'clock. Keep the level where it is. Push the decay out slightly to about 2 o'clock, and the level of decay back to about in between 10 and 11. Keep the release where it is. So yeah, we use this envelope to control the phase. Move it to that first modulation box, click on it, push it up slightly, just to about 2 o'clock. I use it for the cut-off of both filters. Cut-off 1, pull it back to about 10 o'clock. Cut-off 2, pull it back to about 1 o'clock. They make a big difference with the envelopes on the cutoff, and you can tell straight away it's giving it that more sort of plucky sound. Okay, I don't use any noise on it. I did use a little bit of feedback. Clicked it, turned it on, a tiny little bit, that's all. Keep it in between filter 1 and filter 2. Insert 1, I used a parabolic shaper. Pull the dry wet back to about 10 o'clock. Push the drive up ever so slightly to about 1. We use the envelope again on this. First modulation box for the drive, and then pull it down to about 10 o'clock. This means when you press a button, it's going to decrease the amount of drive as the note goes on. Insert 2 is a sine shaper. This is a type of distortion. Pull the dry wet down to about 9 o'clock. The drive in between 8 and 9 o'clock. It's getting that nice drony feel to it already, but the delay and the rest of the effects are going to make it sound a lot better. Go to the voicing section now quickly. I pushed the unison voicing up to 2, changed it to monophonic because it's a bass patch. That's all I did in the voicing section, just to give it a little bit of extra beef. To the oscillator section, I'll check the glide. That sounded like it had some glide, but yeah. Keep it on rate. Pull the time down to 0. Don't want any glide at all, so it doesn't matter what it's on, equal or weight. Just make sure that the glide's down to 0. Okay, that's it with the voicing section. So all we need to do now is the effects. So effects 1, I use a delay sync. As I've shown you at the start, pull the dry wet back to about 11. So the damping, we really need to mess around with this with it playing, so you can set it to how you want it. So I'll set it to left to 1/4, right to 1/8 to give it that ping-pongy sound. Pull the feedback just back slightly from 12 o'clock. So I'll play it through, and then I'll just play with this till I get it sitting how I want him. Around about that position is perfect for me, so it's probably bang on 10 o'clock. It's not reverbing any of the higher aspects of the sound. It's just sort of, as I said earlier, bouncing the sub bass back. It's a real nice effect, that is. FX2 is a dimension expander. Dry wet, pull it back to about 9. Size back to about 10. So a bit of EQing. I think I just boosted the low shelf slightly because it's a bass patch. Get the boost where it is, frequency where it is, and just pull the highs down slightly to about 10, 11 o'clock. So yeah, that is it. Pretty much the patch done. As I say, it's a real simple patch. So important, make sure the mix is dead center between 1 and 2, and make sure this is set to serial. So everything else is keep as standard, the balance between 2 filters on the oscillators. So yeah, 2 oscillators, sub bass for deep house. I say I'll play it through again, and I'll play it with this little beat I made in a little pad with Massive also. So there you go, nice simple deep house bass. I did have a little bit of external processing on this, nothing too snazzy, it's just a little bit of saturation. I did it, changed it to a wave shaper, opened it up, and all I did was give it a tiny little bit of curve and a little bit of depth. So I'll turn it on and off so you can hear it. It doesn't make that much difference really. I do like a bit of saturation on a bass like this. It just helps beef everything up, so it makes it sound a bit fuller. So yeah, that's it for this patch. I hope you like it. Don't forget to subscribe up here if you enjoyed this. Don't forget to check out our Google Plus page and our Facebook page. It's Sound Design Tutorials. Okay, thanks again. Cheers.